Welcome back to Bunny Banter, the first and only podcast for everything killer bunnies. I'm your host Matt, here with co-host Mikey,
Hello.
and guest Chris again.
Hello.
Yeah, Chris was joined us for episode 3, and he was able to join us again today, so we were very glad for that. What are we talking about today, Mikey?
Today we are talking about, uh, cards, specifically cards that were shown to us. I believe it was on Amazon
Yeah,
from the La-di-da London booster.
yeah, very exciting. Some exciting news is that the podcast will soon be on standard podcast channels such as iTunes and Google Play. But for those on
Yay.
YouTube, I will now put up the card previews that we got to see. We got to see 7 cards. We can't read the text of all of them, of course, but we'll be talking about those here in just a moment. But before we get into that, some follow-up to the previous discussion. It was brought up at one point, how many weapons are relevant with defense units? My database says 118. So there's that number. Uh,
Nice.
In comparison, 138 cards roll the black die, so are relevant with the black pawn. We were discussing differences between defense cards and black pawns and which one you would want either. And also in comparison, there are 64 Feed the Bunny cards. So there's
Wow.
some
Wow.
arbitrary numbers to follow up the defense card discussion, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about London Booster, which is very exciting.
hmm
Uh, I don't have any in our discussion questions here, but before we get started, just looking at the images here and thinking about some speculation, which of these cards are you most excited about? Let's start with Chris.
Well, the British bunny seems really interesting to me because I see the ball. Is that what I'm seeing? I'm seeing
Yep.
the yellow ball with red stripe. It'll be interesting to see how that interacts with that effect of the yellow ball with red stripe.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Mikey? Which card are you most excited about?
Oh, I don't know. I They're all really cool. Um, the double-decker bus, that's intriguing
Mm-hmm.
because it has all those carrots in there, and it looks like the words that we can understand, obviously it says it has something to do with carrots. Um, so yeah, I think that's the one I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I would also. Those are actually the two I was most excited about as well, and those are actually the two I was planning on talking about the most. I'm sure several people will be wondering about the Underground stations. What's public information right now is that Underground stations have some interaction with moving bunnies, but nothing is public information beyond that, so we're not going to discuss those until we get more information. Uh, so for
Makes
the,
sense.
yeah. So for this episode of Bunny Banter, we're going to focus primarily on the other cards here. How about we start with the British bunnies? So looking at the card text, they have the same text, or at least very similar text, to the specialty and celebrity bunnies. So we can just make some great comparisons there. That's the text. This is a triple British bunny. Players with this bunny, the bunny circle may play 2 cards per turn. Very simple text. Just initial thoughts on getting more bunnies similar to the specialty and celebrity. Let's start with Mikey.
Well, if I were to acquire this card whilst I was playing, I would like it because you automatically have a triplet. That's awesome. Those
Eh,
cards are great when you have them. However, when somebody else acquires them, that's a different story. Um, so I suppose I have mixed feelings, but I have mixed feelings about all of those triplet specialty or triplet, celebrity bunnies or anything like that. So,
Mm-hmm. How about you, Chris?
Well, initially I'm kind of thinking about how it says British bunny in the description. Um, it kind of makes me think that they're all going to have a similar function or theme, if you will. So this one has the yellow bow with red stripes. So I wonder if future British bunnies will have something like, I don't know, like a prune Danish, like Flo does. It seems like they have something extra in the picture that does things. Maybe one will have a Saturn in it for the Saturn interaction.
Jupiter, you mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jupiter. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's possible we could get other interaction. I'd be very
It's just
surprised with the
it's
prune
just inter
Danish.
yeah. It's well, I'm just saying it's interesting that there's a picture interaction with the British bunny in this one.
hmm we
It
do have
doesn't make sense to
another.
create a new archetype otherwise.
Okay. We do have a celebrity bunny that has Jupiter, so this isn't the first time that we've seen that. But that bunny was a single celebrity. Of course, Jupiter interacts with only one card relevance, while the yellow ball with red stripe interacts with all the mysterious places. And that is the interaction is the player who most recently drew a mysterious place, so who drew the last one, has control of the yellow ball with red stripe. And that means anytime one of those cards is played from the hand or the top run specifically, if it's saved, it doesn't count. The player with that control can choose exactly how that card is played. So, for example, if a terrible misfortune is drawn and it has the yellow ball with red stripe, the player with that control can choose which of the opponent's mines to play it on.
Hmm.
Note that you can't make a choice outside of the normal rules of the card. So I already forgot who mentioned it, but someone mentioned that, yeah, Chris mentioned it, that it'll be interesting to see exactly how this interacts because we always have to assume we're playing it within the normal rules of the card. You can't, or at least it's never been clarified that you can't normally play a bunny on an opponent. You can't just give them a bunny normally, as far as we know.
That's interesting. Then what's the point of having the? I guess you could make them discard it,
That would, yep, discarding is definitely an option there. Um, Otherwise,
but
so
then,
there's two options here. Either it just has the discard mechanic, and of course the mechanic of choosing which position in their side of the binary circle they put it in. Not too
yeah.
relevant, but it can be. Discarding would be the obvious choice. Same goes for whenever somebody flips over a special card. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
the ability to steal that, but you may force them to discard it, of course. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
guessing that's the more likely scenario here. Although I don't think it's ever been Jeff clarified whether or not you can forcibly play a bunny on someone else. I'm assuming you can't, but it would be mechanically consistent with the resurrection effect. It's just something we usually haven't thought of. So maybe that's something to clarify with Jeff. Maybe it's not worth our time. Maybe this card specifically will be clarified in the bunny bits, and then we'll know the clarification therefore of can you play a bunny on an opponent. But we'll get there eventually.
Hmm.
Something interesting with the celebrities and specialties. Well, maybe it's not that interesting, but historically it's been consistent that we have three of each number of them, so we get three singles, three doubles, three triples. The
Uh,
specialties were actually released in two boosters there, and then the celebrities were released in Onyx as three of each, and then we got extras as promo cards within Fantastic Booster. We won't count those, but it's safe to assume that we'll get three singles, British bunnies, three doubles, three triples. It's a
mhm.
safe assumption. This one has the yellow ball with red stripe. We don't know if any of the others will. I think it'd be cool if they did, but who knows? We'll find out once we actually get to see those cards.
I just have to say it is also neat. I like the Harry Potter reference and calling them Griffin bunnies. That's cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, I thought of something, and I'm just speculating because we know the underground stations move bunnies, right? Is that the idea?
Yes, that's what's public information right now.
Maybe that's implying that the ball bunnies also move.
Um, They're two different mechanics, but it could.
Maybe maybe Britain's all about moving stuff. Maybe that's the theme. Like we
Yeah.
have pawn themes in certain expansions. We have defense cards in other expansions. We have there's certain things added each one, like metals was added.
Yeah.
Maybe a moving mechanic is added.
hmm Yeah, so we'll have to, that'll be something to Jeff clarify when expansion comes out, or if Jeff is listening, which he will at some point. Jeff, let us know. Can you move when the British Bunny is played, can I take it for myself if I have the yellow ball? That's the question there. And if so, does that imply that it's within the rules of the card to play a bunny on an opponent without their consent?
That's yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
Yep, for sure. So yeah, we kind of got into my second discussion question here, which was talking about the yellow ball with red stripe on this bunny. I'm definitely glad to see that we're getting more support for the yellow ball with red stripe because according to my database, there are only 18 cards right now with it, which is a very small number, all things considered. So I'm glad to see that we're getting more support of it.
Well, how many mysterious places are there?
There are 15, 16? There's the 12 from Onyx, I believe. And then you have a few more added as promos. Somewhere around 14, 15, 16. Somewhere in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's not only that there's only 18 interactions, it's also the fact that you have to draw that first mysterious place to even make it relevant.
Yeah. Which usually it's a relevant amount of mysterious places where one will be drawn.
If you're a bad shuffler, then maybe not.
If you're a bad shuffler, then maybe multiple will be drawn at once.
Or maybe none at all.
Or maybe none at all. That's how it seems to happen a lot of the times, and that's just statistics for you. But when it does happen, it's always something to watch out for. Is
Unlike senators. Oof.
well, Sanders, we just played a game where the Sander was relevant 3 times in a row within like a period
Yeah,
of 10
but
turns.
I feel that might be the first time in 20 games.
Maybe. Sanders are probably more relevant in larger player counts since you have more
Yeah,
people
I think
drawing.
so.
I would say so. But who knows? Not enough data has been taken on Sanders. That might be another topic within itself, but who knows? Pretty sure we're done getting Sanders support, so at least for now. Let's see. Yeah, I think the yellow ball with red stripe here, at the very least, it'll let the opponent discard the bunny. And that's going to feel really sad anytime somebody thinks they're getting a triplet bunny, and all of a sudden, oh wait, the bunny's dead. Wow.
Well, why would you be playing it if you know somebody else has the ball?
Well, that's the point. People don't pay attention to that all the time.
Sometimes you forget if you haven't used the ball in a while, and then you just like, blah, 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 play the card. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you have the ball. Oh great.
Well, sometimes you try to sneak it by them and hope they don't notice.
I
That's
really
the
hope
move.
it's a move interaction rather than a discard because feel like you just won't play it then, and then it's just gonna become another dead card in your hand until you get the ball.
Well, if it's a move interaction, then it's going to be even more toxic because then it's like, oh, I'm going to play my
Well,
triplet bunny. Oh, wait, no, it's your triplet bunny now.
It would be interesting if it moved when the ball moved.
Oh, okay.
mhm.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I completely agree. There's a custom card in the Magic carrot community that was a carrot with the yellow ball that presumably had that interaction.
That would be a lot
But
of fun.
it's mechanically inconsistent with the rules of the yellow ball, so that would have to be specifically clarified in the bunny bits that this bunny has that interaction.
I feel like there should be something more than just being able to discard it. If they took the initiative to put it in there. When you have all these other specialty bunnies, the triplet bunnies that can't be discarded immediately, why just do it for one? I just
I can
um,
answer that, and the reason is the Harry Potter The card
Okay.
Harry Potter is the card that lets you recover the magic fountain or the magic spatula from the discard pile. That card has the yellow ball with red stripe as the snitch. In the image,
Okay.
it's the bunny version of Harry Potter grabbing the snitch on his broomstick. Here we have Harry Potter again holding the snitch. So it's a thematic choice,
So
not
then
a
if
not necessarily a mechanics choice.
you had the yellow ball and you had the Harry Potter that could take the magic fountain, so then or bring it back or whatever. So then you could force that person to discard that,
Yeah.
then use the magic fountain to, or use Harry Potter to get the magic fountain, then use the magic fountain to take that bunny back. That makes a little more sense. In, there's actually a reason
I'm
for that.
trying to think of the
That would be
interaction
a
you
good early
specified
game
right now.
mechanic.
So you got Harry Potter recovering the magic fountain from the discard pile.
Yep.
Uh, Harry Potter, I believe it's a player save clause. Let me make sure. If it says save exclusively, then we're in trouble with that interaction because then it doesn't happen. Let's see. I'm
Hmm.
looking up right now. Maybe use immediately or saved. Okay. So if you control Harry Potter, and
Yep.
for some reason you decide, actually no, there's a good reason. You decide to use the magic fountain immediately. At that point, since you're controlling Harry Potter, you're also controlling the magic fountain, which means you can give yourself the bunnies anyways. So
Yep.
the ball on the British bunny does not matter in that situation, because you can take it anyways by the resurrection mechanics, which have been revealed to me within the past few weeks, thanks to Glenn from the
Okay.
QCC.
Hmm.
So, if we're in doubt, I think we can safely say that you can discard the bunny. I would say it's a potential that you could steal the bunny when it's played. Um, Stealing the bunny after it's been played would have to be specified specifically in the bunny bits for it to be considered an interaction, because that would be doesn't fit within the rules of the mysterious place.
Yep.
Yeah, the
I
other
see.
for sure discarding, maybe steal. Steal
I,
continuously has to be
I guess
clarified.
I kind of think it's kind of a similar idea as the ambassador bunny. Um, Being
Hmm.
able to do something after the card is played. I mean, ambassador says play on your opponent.
Yeah.
That's a specific. I think that's the reason why maybe we aren't allowed to play just a random bunny on your opponent, is because there is a card specifically for that.
Well, Ambassador Bunny is the exception. That's your bunny, even though it's in your opponent's side of the circle.
Yep.
Hmm.
We don't have any. For the resurrection mechanics, we do have a bunny bits clarification that is why we are able to play it on an opponent. For bunnies specifically, I don't. Actually, I'm going to check now. Hold on. While I'm checking this interaction, because now I'm curious at this very specific wording of playing a bunny.
Hmm.
uh, Mikey, what are you
Yeah.
most excited about with the double decker something? We can't read the full card title.
I'm just excited for the fact that it has something to do with carrots. And it's a special, and it requires you to have a bunny. So I feel like it's something beneficial towards you, either by making your um, opponent discard carrots, but I feel like it's more likely that you will be able to collect carrots just because it's based upon whether or not you have a bunny. Um, that's a chance for anybody who gets that, if it does allow you to acquire carrots, that's just a chance for somebody who's perhaps has maybe no carrots to acquire potentially quite a few carrots. Um, yeah, that's probably what I'm most excited about that.
Hmm.
Uh, it'll be interesting to see what it actually does.
Yeah, I'll add to that in a second, but I have the official ruling, and I feel very enlightened today because the official wording is players may place bunnies anywhere they wish in the bunny circle as they are flipped into play or revived from the discard pile, which means we can declare mechanical consistency between playing bunnies and reviving bunnies. Therefore, it is completely within your rights to play a bunny on an opponent without their consent. So therefore, we can confirm that when this British bunny is played, the player with the yellow ball may steal it. It has
That
officially
makes so
been
much
Ooh.
cl-
more sense.
it has
You
officially
realize
been
what that does
clarified.
for you realize it does for the game now that we know that?
It creates interactions between cards that require your opponents to have multiple bunnies, such as bunny exchange. It does not create interactions with Mad Bunny disease because the bunny was never in your side of the circle to begin with. Well, unless you're giving your opponent more bunnies while they have
Well,
Mad Bunny disease, then sure.
I'm thinking about roaming red potential.
Roman red potential. I mean, playing the
Keeping
bunny on
your
your
keeping your quality bunny in your circle alive, like your gleeful pink, and letting your weaker bunnies that you play on your opponent die instead for a few turns.
I mean, it begs the question, why wouldn't you just position it on the correct side of your pink lethal?
I suppose.
But there's probably reasons. There's probably rare scenarios. But it has officially been clarified. There's Jeff, we have answered our own question.
So, just to clarify the clarification, you can only play a bunny on someone else immediately after you flip it over
Yes,
or if you resurrect it.
yes. When it's played,
Okay,
you may play it on someone else. Anytime after that point, it's considered trading.
okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Did you notice
So
that
that
the
makes a lot more sense with the
Hmm.
whole ball, yellow ball with the red stripe on the British bunny. That makes
Yeah,
so much because
it
it would just
creates
be
a
lame if all you could make them do discard it.
really cool interaction there where all of a sudden, oh look, I don't have a bunny. Oh look, my opponent made a mistake and played this bunny with the yellow ball. I happen to have that. Oh, I have a triplet bunny now. That's pretty good. My opponent no longer has a triplet bunny. I do have a triplet bunny. There we go. Ruined all their plans.
That's nice.
That's pretty exciting.
did I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but did you see that the double decker has the clause that if you don't have any bunnies, this goes
Yeah,
away?
Yep.
that's probably there to balance it, so then we can assume that this is a fairly strong effect.
I'm
I
kind of
did
thinking that you get double the carrots, whatever you choose.
I did read some of the text that we can see. Let me pull it up here. Okay. The player with this card blank carrot every turn that blank, and then some line of text that's difficult to read. I think it might say interruption of play um,
No, that's not what I see.
on the third line.
Yeah.
What do you read that as?
Mm. I could
Uh,
see how it could be of play. It kind of
yeah,
looks like a elimination to me.
elimination. Could be.
Like,
It's hard to read that one word there.
yep.
Then we have the last part of the
No
text that we can
bunnies in the
read
bunny
has no
circle.
bunnies.
Yep.
Last part of the text is that has no bunnies clause that every card with the pink circle has, where if
Mhm.
you don't have a bunny, you're discarding the save special. So I think we can safely assume that this card chooses carrots every turn that something happens. We
It
don't
might
know
be
what
when
that
you choose.
something
Yeah.
is, but presumably you could get a carrot per turn. There's some condition there we don't know, but carrot per turn. And I'm pretty excited about that because
That's awesome.
a lot of the things from the recent boosters that we've gotten after Conquest. So, Fantastic Booster, Karma Booster. We've gotten things that decrease game length by increasing the economy. So Karma Booster, we got the metal coins, and metal coins drastically decrease game length by providing the metals economy early on in the game. So people were able to generate Dala
Yep.
consistently throughout the game. Let's see, I'm trying to think of Pumpkin Spice added the metal alloys in the deck, which can be treated as either of the metals uh, in a single turn, so that also increases the metals economy. And there's other things as well, such as the choose a carrot Zodiac, theoretically increases carrots gained per turn. It has potential to choose 24 carrots. Haven't seen it happen yet, but it does have that potential. Choose a carrot low roll is a better example, where you roll the 5 dice and the lowest rolls the amount of carrots you get to choose. That's very impactful. Lots of cards and mechanics that have been created to lower game length. The biggest example being Tevitelos, which literally ends the game early under certain conditions. And I've seen it happen once, and I won that game, so I'm pretty happy about that card.
Uh,
So I'm expecting this one to also be printed with that in mind, and I'm very excited because game length is a common complaint and a common thing people worry about as we see more carrots being added. Because after London Booster, we're getting 4 more carrots, so we'll be at 58. And based on the Bunny Bonanza, we know that the current planned total of carrots is 80. So having more high economy value cards will be quite nice to keep that in control. That's why I'm most excited about it with Double Decker something. Um, the other card we can actually isn't too much to say about Soggy Bottom here, the weapon we can see. Um,
we have to talk about the illusion, though.
we have to talk about the reference here. Mikey, would you like to talk about the reference?
Sure. It's an allusion to the Great British Bake Off. That's it. That's just
There you
Google
go.
it.
Yep,
Google.
Great British Bake Off, where the judge, I can't remember her name now. What's her name?
Let me Google it. Y'all
Okay.
out there should Google it too because it's
It's a pretty
cool.
classy show. I actually like it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. So
I
in
like this.
in the show, if you're, it's a very fancy baking show, and if your pastry or cake or whatever it is has a soggy bottom, that's just the end of the world. You've just ruined your whole day. You're getting eliminated from the show. Whatever, something bad is happening. So we have soggy bottom here as a level. I think
There's a whole book. It's called The Great British Bake Off: How to Avoid a Soggy Bottom.
There you go. There's a book about it. Everyone should go read that book. I'm sure it's amazing. There you go, Mikey. Another book for you to order.
Oh goodness, I have too many. I haven't even read half of them.
I like the Studio C parody on the Great British Bake Off.
Oh yeah, that's pretty great as well. But yeah, we have I think we can see it's a level 13 weapon with the 20 side die. So about as weak as we expect the clear die weapons to be.
Are you
But
sure it kind of looks like a 10
a 10 would be
or maybe a
interesting.
15?
Maybe. It's hard
Maybe
to see. It's
Well,
blurry, but
why would it be a 10? It has the clear die,
yeah,
so
that'd be an
that would be the
interesting
interesting.
mechanic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be the first time we'd see a
I think
weapon
it,
with
although it might be a 19 too.
it could be. Only we'll,
It's
we'll have to find out, I
I,
guess.
I don't see 13. I see 10 or 19.
Okay.
I could see 13. Yeah, that's kind of an obscure
Matthew, you should go
expo.
look at the how the 15 and the 13 weapons are printed and see which one's closer.
I'll look at the fonts later, I guess. But once we get the Bunny Bits preview, we'll know for sure because that will also come with the card list. So And well,
Ooh.
then we'll see who's right. Sounds like Mikey and
Uh,
I are speculating 13 and Chris is saying 15 or 19, so
Uh,
we have a little contest within Bunny Banter.
bum bum
it's
bum.
the great funny, I
The
don't know.
great Bunny Banter off. Great Bunny Banter show? I don't
That's
know.
cool. The
Some
interesting thing about the picture of it though is that the Great British Bake Off takes place outside, but this is clearly inside. That
uh,
has nothing to do with the mechanics at all, but it's just an interesting
it's an
observation.
interesting design choice there. Yeah, better contact Jonathan and tell him to change it right away. It needs to be.
Uh,
Well,
not
they have
being consistent.
they're under a tent for a lot of it. I think there's
Yeah,
covers in the
maybe.
background.
True. I don't know if they're maybe they're cupboards. There's definitely countertops,
Hmm.
but now I gotta look here.
Now we're analyzing the artwork.
You got to
uh,
make it long. Make the podcast as uh, fit an hour.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because we have less to talk about today with only a few of these cards able to read. But yeah, it's just it's a basic weapon. There's
Oh, you guys are wrong.
uh-oh.
There
What
is
do you mean
definitely
wrong?
cupboards and walls. I give
They're
him the
in the
gift to
on the
prove it.
very back. They're in a tent. There's a wall on the back with
There you go. Good job,
there you
Jonathan. Well
we're
done on the
we're
artwork as always.
everybody's correct. Jonathan, you're okay. We still love you.
We always love Jonathan.
I
His artwork's
suppose.
amazing.
It is.
Okay. How about we move on to I think it's MI6, James Bond reference.
Da 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 da.
So the text that we can read from this one, notice that's non-aggressive. That's pretty exciting. The text that we can read may be used once by a player to rearrange the blank. And then we can see like
Okay.
one letter of the last line there.
You sure
I
it's rearrange?
thought so.
I kind of saw reactivate.
React. Oh, I thought I saw that too as well, but what would you be reactivating? That's another question.
The two something.
Two.
Reactivate the. I see a two in the corner.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I wasn't sure on the first letter of the last line. We can see it's either like a B or an R, something like that. So we got something that's rearranging or reactivating something.
Maybe this probably is not the case at all, but perhaps it could have something to do with Carrot Top Royale
Mm?
because of the 1967 and then more recently the 2006 James Bond Casino Royale. Um, never watch the 1967 version. It's awful. But I don't know. That's a speculation.
Just for you guys to know, MI6 is the Secret Intelligence Service in the movie. The head of the Secret Intelligence.
MI6 is, yeah, it's double. James Bond is 007, but that is almost clearly a reference to James Bond.
MI6 is intelligence, Matthew.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it
I
has
haven't
something to
seen the
do with
movie. I'm uncultured.
it, it has something to do with intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the secret
So
intelligence.
what would the intelligence
Intelligence group.
be rearranging or reactivating?
Hmm.
That's a good question. Maybe something with ranks?
Maybe. Rearrange the top ranked bunnies?
Top two top two bunnies or top two
Well,
carrots
it
and
might it just be the top. There's only one word there. The top rank?
see I see the top two.
Hmm.
Rearrange rearrange the top two and I'm seeing the two in the third line on the corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Maybe. That might be a two. It's
I don't know what
possible.
else that would be.
That was one. Yeah. That could be. So maybe we're rearranging ranks. That'd be an interesting
It
mechanic where
I think it's probably more bunnies though, because if we're thinking about this set so far, there's a lot of bunny movement,
Mm-hmm.
and it would make sense that the intelligent agency would be moving its agent bunnies around. Maybe it's free agents. Maybe that would be.
Ooh,
Free agents, yeah, maybe. Something move
that
around
could
free agents. It'd
huh.
be interesting to add that if we're not getting any free agents. I don't know why we would get more free agents, but maybe. Free agents aren't starters, so
Maybe we'll get celebrity free agents.
celebrity free agents, that's there was recently a Jeff clarification that well no, celebrity free agents were always denounced the existence of them, but that'd be a free agent that can be any of the British celebrity or specialty. That'd be something.
Hmm.
What would we call
Mm-hmm.
that? Who
Free
knows?
British agent.
Free British agent. There you go. There you go.
Here's something interesting, and it might not have anything to do with it. But another thing I looked at is bizarre Baccarat.
Yep.
That is also a reference to James Bond as well.
Oh.
I'm looking here at the Killer Bunnies wiki page, and it talks about it's a reference to the James Bond film Doctor No.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that it might. It doesn't sound like it would have anything to do if it's rearranging something,
Mhm. Or
but
reactivating.
yeah, but that's just an interesting thing. So now we'll have two James Bond references for
Mhm.
anybody who's interested
Yeah.
or likes James Bond.
Maybe
Am I the only one
it's
I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I need to look
No,
something up.
I was changing the subject, but I was speaking on British bunnies. Am I the only one that wants to have a Solomon Lane reference from Mission Impossible?
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Because I just think it's lacking the Mission Impossible potential.
I've never seen Mission Impossible.
Oh, Mikey.
Oh, sad day.
No. Oh, Mikey.
Well,
Too soon.
Matthew's never seen James Bond, so
Yeah, so
No, but
there we
James
go.
Bond
We
is a
we all
classic.
have an assignment after this.
but they're not the same. They're
James
not the
Bond is probably
same.
better. James Bond had Sean Connery.
But you don't understand. Like Mission Impossible, the whole point of it is that it's a really impossible mission. Like it's not going to get more intense than that.
But James Bond is like, well, probably not anymore, but he was like, he's the man's man there.
I don't know.
He's a womanizer, that guy.
Careful.
A womanizer.
What if I had a thought? What if instead of rearrange or reactivate, what if I don't quite see it? I see rearrange. I don't know. Rearrange the top. That looks like an R. My best guess is that I'll be
What if it's
rearranging
top?
ranks. But who knows?
See, I think you're right though. It's the top two though.
Mhm.
If it says top, what if
It's
it's
rearrange the top
run
two.
card?
Oh, top run cards. Yeah, because I think that's an R. I don't think that'd be a weird looking two. It's got like a weird diagonal to it for that font. Top run cards. Rearrange the top run cards. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
we
gotta
get
remember though that it's not an aggressive card.
exactly.
So that I
So-
don't know. It
So
seems
it's
like a
like
stretch.
Is top run rotate? Is that an aggressive card?
top run rotate is not.
Okay,
So
so it
this
could
would
then.
be a top run rotate like mechanic, but let's pretend that you get to look at them
Mm-hmm.
because it says
See,
rearrange, not rotate.
Just rearrange the top two, Matthew. The top. two.
That can't be a two. That's got to be an R. The diagonal is wrong. That's not what a two looks like in that font.
Maybe.
Also, what if it has something to do with the number 6 as well? Because it's MI6.
Could be.
But that's just the code name for the intelligence agency.
I know, but they use a like Canary Wharf that we have here is the other one. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
they
a
use-
kind of
They
Play on
used
words.
exactly, yeah. It could be possible, but then how would we apply 6 to the top run cards?
I don't know. We got
Uh,
all these ideas.
we got all the ideas, and they're all going to be wrong. Okay. I
We'll have to
think,
come back and do one and see if we're right.
yeah, that's right. I think top run, that would make sense, and it'd be similar to top run rotate, except this is a run card, not a special card. So the idea is it's balanced in that top run rotate you can save for later, but this one you have more control over what happens now.
Yep.
I like it. Could be an interesting card. Let's see. So we talked about all those. We mentioned the underground stations. Canary Wharf, we can see absolutely no text. We only know that's called Canary Wharf because of Jeff mentioned the card at the Bunny Bonanza event. And it mentioned it was his favorite card from the new set.
He talked about it in his live stream that he did on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
He talked about Canary Wharf being a place in London,
Mhm.
and then Wharf standing with canaries in front of Canary Wharf,
There you go.
which is literally what the picture shows. So you're all welcome. I just described it for you. You have no need to go look at it anymore.
There you go. And it's a very special.
Yes.
We can't even see if it's aggressive or not. The MI6 is covering it, so we can't even see if it's aggressive. We do know that it doesn't roll any dice. So that's something we know. Unless it rolls colorless rolls like something like Poverty Poker, but who knows? It could do something.
It could.
It's Jeff's favorite card from the new set, so we can assume it does something exciting.
I hope so.
Whatever the exciting
Maybe
thing
Jeff
is.
is playing us. Jeff's just playing us.
Yeah, Jeff, watch it be the least impactful card of the set.
Well,
This
Jeff
card
has liked
officially
weak
does
cards in the past before.
I suppose.
He's
There.
abused Banana Phone how many times?
I mean, Banana Phone, that's worth a carrot.
Yeah, but it's strictly hard carrot.
Yeah, but is Banana Phone Jeff's favorite card from that set? We know he
Top
uses
five.
it. We know he uses it, but is it his favorite card?
I think he's had a lot of fun with it.
Probably.
We should just ask him, Jeff, is Banana Phone your favorite card?
Favorite card total.
His favorite
hope
card
not.
ever.
Favorite card.
What is his favorite card ever?
I don't know.
Maybe we should make a prize giveaway or something.
Prize.
We will give away a free. I have a Swiffer duster. We could give away a free Swiffer duster to anyone who gets it right.
There you go.
We could all sign it too. There you
We
go.
can all sign this Swiffer Dustin. Tell you what, Mikey, if you ship it, we'll go for
Okay.
it. Okay, if somebody knows what Jeff's favorite card is within, let's say, should we say between the time episode 4 is released and episode 5 is released, if someone gets it by then, Jeff, if you're watching, send me the name of the card privately so that we know who can win the contest for the for this amazing prize. If somebody guesses it,
bunnies.
oh, there you go, gets rid of dust bunnies. We can make a card about it. There you go, Jeff. You got a card idea with this too. So, Jeff, privately send me your favorite card, and if anybody can guess it within the 2-week time between episode 4 release and episode 5 release, that's between July 26th is when this episode's released. We're recording a week early because of reasons. And August 9th will be the deadline. And
Okay. How are they gonna do this? Are they gonna message you on Facebook, or how do you want to do this?
post your guesses in the comments of the YouTube video or directly email them to me at mahobear8@gmail.com. And if you are correct, We first person who's correct, we will get your address and we'll send you a signed fries.
A
They
signed Swiffer duster.
signed Swiffer Duster to get rid of the dust bunnies. The official Bunny Banter Swiffer Duster. Sounds like a plan. Okay. Let's see. So we talked about all the cards here. We are not talking about the underground station's functionality, but that artwork is pretty fancy.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that it's horizontal.
Yeah. We do know from the Bunny Bonanza live videos that these are placed in the bunny circle. So that's something we know. It's interesting that from these two we can see that we have the same, I just noticed this now, we have the same characters inside the images. You can see at stop number 4 here, we got the blue bunny standing next to the yellow bunny there. We got the, what is that, purple bunny in a purple dress in the background there. And then we got
She seems
stop
sad.
6, stop 6, she's hugging the person, the blue bunny, and the purple bunny has moved. So maybe we have a storyline here.
That would be cool.
That's
The bunny in the purple dress looks sad, and she's far away from them all.
yeah, maybe she's lonely.
Could be. I had a thought, but it's not appropriate to share on our
Okay,
podcast.
on our
Unfortunately.
family-friendly podcast. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell me later then. Yeah, so we got some sort of nice storyline going with the underground station. Some sort of love story, perhaps. Who knows?
Perhaps.
Thankfully, this
Looks
isn't
like
Killer Bunny's Odyssey where things are PG-13, so. Too soon?
mating bunnies.
Hmm, too soon. Yeah, that's all the cards we have looked at that we have as a preview currently. Uh, Anything else we want to say as some closing thoughts uh, before we end here?
It's pretty neat. I'm excited. It's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
How about you, Chris? Did we lose Chris?
I don't know. Chris hasn't been with us for a while.
I think we lost
I'm
Chris.
here.
There he is.
Yay!
Yay, Chris didn't die. Okay. Chris, are you excited?
I am excited. I don't think you said what day this was going to be released yet.
Oh, yeah. So, fun story. Yesterday being uh, July 17th, you're watching this in the future. That's a fun thought. Hello, future.
Woo!
Yesterday, the Amazon page went up for London Booster, and today, this morning, it was taken down. But we did get a release date, and we were previously expecting September, although historically things have been late in arriving. But the Amazon release date said, drumroll, October
Uh,
23rd. October
oh,
23rd is the official date that we have been given. Although I'll put a link to what was the Amazon page. You can still access it. It now listed as currently unavailable instead of pre-order, and you'll no longer be able to find it by searching for it. So I'll have the direct link in the description here if I remember to put it there. But yes, we have a Amazon page.
Yay.
and you
That's
can look at
where,
the cards on the Amazon
yes,
page too.
yeah, you can look at the cards. You can tell us how we're all blind and we read these cards all wrong and it clearly said this instead and all of that fun stuff.
Hmm.
So with that, hopefully, the Bunny Banter will now be on the other podcast services such as iTunes and Google Play and Spotify. Hopefully, it'll be on all of those by the time this episode comes out. I have them
Listen to
scheduled
them.
to do so. So that's exciting. Something to note is that Sandbox Gaming is creating a customized container for everything within full set, the full set Killer Bunnies, and that Kickstarter will be up 2 days from now. It'll have been up a week by the time this episode comes out. So I'll include a link to that in the description as well. Something to consider. I'll definitely be funding it because I need a better storage option for my full set.
Now, is that including card sleeves?
That's what I'm going to find out at some point. Doing a live stream Q&A thing this Saturday.
Ooh.
So I will find that out. I hope so. But that's some very exciting news there. So with that, that will be the end of our Bunny Banter discussion today. Thank you, Chris, for joining us again. And if anyone has any topic suggestions, feel free to put them down in the comment section or email me directly or message me on Facebook. Any of those are fine, or the Discord. Literally contact me any way you want.
By mail.
And Mikey, what would you like to say?
Jeff Bless.
Jeff Bless.